What's up, everybody? We're back with something a little bit special this week. It is College Bowl Blitz. I don't know if that's what you really call it, but there are so many college football games, and we had to come on. We've done so much research, and we have some fantastic picks and information for you to make some money off of this bowl season. We do some NFL stuff, so you can see the right over Brandon's shoulder. There's going to be a little thing that's going to pop up on the video that you can go and check some of the NFL stuff. But we're here for some college football. So if you haven't seen us before, I'm Matt with Beard Laws. You can find me on all the social media.
And you can find me all over social media at Brandon J. McDermott.
And you can find me, Matt Brown, at the Ohana Jones.
So in this video, we are going to break down the games from December 21st all the way through the 28th. And we're going to kind of break them up in a couple of segments. This is going to be video one, and then we're going to do our next one, and then we're going to do one that is going to be the national championship game. And I'm super excited. Let's just get right into this. First game that we're going to talk about is the famous Idaho Potato Bowl, a bowl that's been around for whatever. And who doesn't love the Potato Bowl? We have Kent State in Wyoming, and the spread on this is 4.5, with Wyoming as the favorite.
You know, Nebraska obviously hasn't made a bowl game in 6 years, so I'm going to be able to try to root for Wyoming because they're the closest school here. I'm definitely not going to root for Iowa or Iowa State. Wyoming, they've got 2 wins this year against MAC teams. It's not as bad as their record indicates. They aren't at all as bad as that record show. It is college football, though, where individual players stand out more than other sports. I like Dustin Crum from Kent State. He's thrown for more than 7,000 yards, 51 touchdowns, and just 12 interceptions over his whole career. I'm taking Kent State and the upset, and I'm taking the over here.
Yeah, this one is tough as both teams are coming off of rough losses. Wyoming has just, though, been incredibly inconsistent offensively, only winning 2 out of their last 8 games. On the other side, before their loss in the MAC championship, Kent State had scored at least 30 points in their last 7 games. I'm leaning towards the Golden Flashes here.
Kent State, in their last couple of games, have gone win-win, loss, win-win, loss. So if they follow that pattern, it's going to be a win. So therefore, I'm going with it. Kent State plus 4.5. Next up, we have the Tropical Smoothie Cafe Frisco Bowl. No wonder why college football doesn't want to go to a playoff. There's so many fun bowl games to say. We got the UTSA Roadrunners and the San Diego State are playing this one, and San Diego State is a 2.5 point favorite.
And this is an interesting matchup of 2 conference title game runner-ups or runners-up. I really do like both of these teams. UTSA has a more high-powered offense, and they've got Frank Harris, a senior quarterback who's got a 25-5 touchdown to interception ratio. San Diego State has the better statistical defense, and I see a low-scoring affair here. I'm taking UTSA to win, though.
Not many times do we see a nationally ranked team be considered the underdog, but really, these teams just switched places as UTSA was just number 24, and now it's San Diego State. But the Aztecs are the Mountain West champions, and I see them showing out and stopping the runners' ground game. Look, San Diego State just played better in the regular season. That's what I'm talking about for Mountain West. I like San Diego State here.
77% of the betting trend is going with UTSA. That seems like I'm going to go with them too. So make that 77.2% is now going with UTSA with the points plus 2.5. We have the Armed Forces Bowl. We have the Missouri Tigers and the Army Black Knights. And Army is a 4-point favorite.
Look at Army now. You go back just 6 years, and the team from West Point really didn't have much to be excited about. But over the last 6 years, 51 wins and 3 bowl wins. Most of these teams, they gain a lot of yards. And get this, Missouri gives up more yards than it gains on average. That includes giving up 229 yards a game rushing. And Army, they like to do that. They're great at rushing the ball. They're a running team. So I'm going to take them to control the clock here, control the momentum, control the line of scrimmage, and I'm taking Army to cover over the lowly SEC team, the Mizzou Tigers.
Well, I got nothing to add. Look, Missouri allows so many rushing yards, and it's that old triple option power run offense from Army. I see the Knights winning and covering here.
I love that formation. And Army's 8-4 against the spread this year. Missouri is 4-8 against the spread this year. And let's agree. Let's go with it. Army -4. Next up, we have the Frisco Football Classic. You have the North Texas Mean Green and the Miami, Ohio Redhawks. North Texas is a 3.5 point favorite.
You know, most teams score a lot, and both of these two also do, but Texas, North Texas that is, they lean on DeAndre Torrey, who averages 4.9 yards a tote, 1,200 yards this year, 13 touchdowns. Miami isn't awful against the run, but it's a matchup to watch out for. The Redhawks, they've got Brett Gabbert. That's Blaine's little brother. Maybe you remember that name. Blaine Gabbert. Brett's had a nice little decent sophomore campaign with 2,400 yards passing, 24 touchdowns, and just 6 interceptions. I'm going to go with the more solid quarterback and Miami to win and to cover.
Sometimes being the hot team is better than being the good team, and North Texas is on a 5-game winning streak, most recently toppling the previously undefeated UTSA Roadrunners, who we were just talking about. I think I'm going with the mean green of UNT in this one.
I agree with you there. I'm going to go with North Texas minus 3.5. That 5-game winning streak, yes, most of these teams haven't played in several weeks, but they're 9-2-1 against the spread this year. And I think they're the better football team, but only time will tell in the Frisco Football Classic. Let's move on to the Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl. You have the University of Central Florida Knights and the Florida Gators. Florida is a 6.5-point favorite.
It's an interesting matchup here in the Sunshine State. Both of these teams, they're statistically similar, but Florida averages more yards per game. Both quarterbacks are solid, but junior quarterback Emory Jones is more turnover prone for the Gators. 13 interceptions to 19 touchdowns, but the talent is on the side of the Gators. So I'm going to take Florida to cover, and I'm also going to take the over here. The over-under is 56.
These are two programs in transition to me. Probably the last game for the current interim coaching staff at Florida, and a potential statement game for UCF as Coach Gus Malzahn will work with what he has after former starting quarterback Dylan Gabriel announced his transfer to UCLA. I think on motivation alone, Florida will show their incoming head coach Billy Napier something to be excited about. I like the Gators with the points here.
Either way, I guess if a Florida team is going to win the Gasparilla Bowl, but both of these teams are 4-8 against the spread, which is absolutely terrible. But I like University of Central Florida here, plus 6.5. I think it's going to be a closer game than people think. And I'm going to go with the team with the points. Let's go with the Easy Post Hawaii Bowl. You have the Memphis Tigers and the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors, and Memphis is an 8.5-point favorite.
On a neutral field, this might be a different game, but in Hawaii, the Rainbow Warriors must not be overlooked. Hawaii has a losing record this year, and they give up more yards than they gain. That's not good, and I don't expect this game to be either. Memphis freshman quarterback Seth Hennigan quietly had 3,300 yards passing to go with 25 touchdowns and just 8 interceptions. I'm taking the Tigers to travel to the Aloha State to walk away with a meaningless trophy that will sit in a box behind some glass on campus that no one will remember. Just like this game, nobody's going to remember it. Be sure to watch next week, though.
Look, there's a chance I'm at this game as I was born then and will be there for the holidays. But with that, there comes some painful knowledge of Hawaii's football's mediocrity for the past decade. They're basically 50-50 in their home bowl game, and I just don't see it happening this time around either, Brandon. Like, especially without their quarterback, Chevron Cordero, who's transferring out. Betting-wise, I'll just lean towards Memphis, even though I might be rooting for Hawaii. I just think Memphis will win this game.
You were born there, and you're going to be there. I'm going Hawaii with the points, because 8.5, that's a decent amount of points for a couple of teams that haven't played football in a while. But Memphis is 3-6 in their last 9 games against the spread. Hawaii's on a 2-game win streak. That's good enough for me. Hawaii with the points. We got the TaxAx Camellia Bowl. Georgia State, Panthers at the Ball State Cardinals. Georgia State is a 5.5-point favorite.
No, I feel comfortable with this game. Georgia State is the clear favorite on paper. They run the ball better, and they have a nice 1-2 punch in the run game behind Tucker Gregg and Jameis Williams. Both have 800 yards and 9 touchdowns this year. Quarterback Darren Granger, he's not a slouch himself. He protects the ball well with only 4 interceptions this year. I'm taking Georgia State to win, to cover, and I'm also going to take the over, which is 50, the over-under.
Yeah, I just think that Georgia State has had too good of a year not to win this bowl game. Look, having won 6 out of their last 7, and that one loss during that span was against number 16 Louisiana. I think the resume speaks for itself, and they can win and cover in this one.
I agree with you guys. This is going to be the Christmas present. This is going to be our lock of the week. The gift that you didn't even know you could have right here. Georgia State. Take it 5.5 points. And also, if you look down below in the description, there's going to be a bonus down there that's going to help you win even more money on your bets. So make sure you check that out. So yeah, I like them. Georgia State minus 5.5. Christmas is over. Now we have a bunch of bowls. This is when, in my opinion, the bowl season kind of starts to heat up in the next couple of days. So let's talk about the Quick Lane Bowl. You have the Western Michigan Broncos and the Nevada Wolfpack. And Western Michigan is a 7-point favorite.
If you can't tell already, I love a team that runs the ball consistently. Western Michigan does this. Nevada doesn't. Nevada may be the better point differential team, scoring 36 a game and giving up just 24. The Broncos, they score 31 a game and they give up 29. I do think the Broncos can slow the game down, though. I think they can control the clock with the running game, control that line of scrimmage, and win this one. but I don't feel so sure about that line. I'm going to take Western Michigan's money line here.
I think this has flipped in the last week for me and a lot of the bettors. Just double check for me when you place your bet. Nevada will probably be without their head coach who left for Colorado State and their star QB Carson Strong, who just declared for the NFL draft and won't be playing in this one. So I just see Western Michigan pulling off the technical upset in this one.
Yeah, and like you said, the run game and the control, I think that it's going to be a closer game, even without the quarterback. Do I think Nevada has enough to win? Potentially. Sometimes having that backup quarterback that nobody has seen before could play to your advantage. I like Nevada with the 7 points. Next, we're going to talk about the Military Bowl with the Boston College Eagles and the East Carolina Pirates. The Boston College Eagles are a 3-point favorite.
You know, the stats are with the Pirates in East Carolina. They average 70 more points per game and 5 more points per game. But BC just has more talent. It's really that simple. I'm taking the Eagles to win and to cover easily.
Again, it's better to be hot than good for me. East Carolina has won 4 out of their last 5 games, and that one loss was against Cincinnati, who we'll talk in the coming weeks because they're in the college football playoff, while Boston College has just straight up lost their last 2. I like the Pirates to win outright here.
Yeah, I'm a fan of this. The ECU Pirates +3 here. Boston College 2-6 against the spread in their last 8 games, and that's just not good enough for me. ECU +3. That's what I like here. Let's talk about the Ticket Master Birmingham Bowl. That was a tough one to say. The Houston Cougars, the Auburn Tigers. Auburn is a 2.5-point favorite.
You know, it's a solid matchup. Auburn may have more talent and a tougher schedule, but believe it or not, Houston has a better statistical offense and a better statistical defense than the Tigers. But this is never about what happened yesterday. It's all about right now. That talent gap is too big. I'm taking Auburn to cover, and I'm taking the under.
Yeah, again, the unranked team is favored over the ranked team. Number 20 is Houston, and I really think Houston's just more explosive than Auburn is. The Tigers have allowed over 370 total yards per game this season, and Houston has been gaining over 400, so I'm swaying towards ranked Houston here.
Yeah, I like Houston here with the points, not only because of that, but Auburn has lost 4 straight games. Houston had an 11-game win streak that ended because of Cincinnati, who, like Matt said, we're going to talk about in the next couple of episodes. Houston's averaging 37 points a game, and to be honest, I don't know if Auburn can keep up with them, so I'm going Houston +2.5. Next up, let's talk about the ServPro First Responder Bowl. You have the Air Force Falcons and the Louisville Cardinals. Another good battle of the mascots, and Louisville is a 1.5-point favorite.
Is it Louisville? Is it Louisville? Is it Louisville? It's not Louisville. We know that. Air Force has a very solid defense, and Louisville has a better offense. Air Force is likely going to throw it about 5 times this game. They will run it down your throat, and I see this being a very close game, but I just see Louisville winning with a much better roster than the Falcons boast.
This one is tough, but I'm going to trust the triple option in bowl games this year. Yes, I think Louisville can force it to be a higher scoring game, but I still like those Falcons of Air Force in this one.
Air Force 9-3 against the spread this year. Louisville 7-5 against the spread this year. They both average 31 points a game, but the difference for me is Air Force is only giving up on average 19 points a game. So I'm going to go with the better defense because they say defenses win bowl championships. So I'm going with Air Force in the points. Let's go with the AutoZone Liberty Bowl. The Mississippi State Bulldogs and the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Mississippi State is an 8.5-point favorite.
And the AutoZone Liberty Bowl is probably the easiest bowl game to remember this year. I really like Mississippi State here. Their sophomore quarterback, Will Rogers. No, not that Will Rogers. It's the new Will Rogers. He's got 4,400 yards, second most in the country, 35 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. The SEC schedule breeds winners. Iron sharpens iron. We've all heard it. I see the Bulldogs winning and to cover easily.
Yeah, this could be a shootout with similar offenses and could be fun to watch, but that also means that I think it'll be close. And yes, Mississippi State I do think can win, but I think Texas Tech can cover here, so I'm leaning towards the Red Raiders.
Texas Tech is on a 2-game losing streak, and Texas Tech gives up on average 32 points a game to their opponents, and I don't think they're going to be able to keep up or stay close with Mississippi State, so I'm going Mississippi State -8.5 here. What about the San Diego County Credit Union Holiday Bowl? That's a heck of a name. UCLA Bruins at the NC State Wolfpack, and NC State is a 1.5-point favorite.
You know, the Wolfpack only give up 18 points a game. That's the best defense out of all the games we've talked about thus far. More than a touchdown less than the Bruins. Both of these are good against the run, but to me, it's sophomore quarterback Devin Leary for NC State that sticks out. Ninth most touchdowns in the nation, 35, just 5 interceptions. I like those numbers, and I like the Wolfpack to win by a touchdown.
Yeah, I feel like I should like the Wolfpack, but this one could be as good as NC State was just on the outside looking in on the ACC championship, but UCLA may just want this one more. Here on the West Coast, I hear a lot of chatter about Coach Chip Kelly and quarterback Dorian Thompson-Robinson, or DTR. Both could be coaching and playing for their respective jobs next year. I think that's enough to like UCLA to upset in this one.
Of course, you're going to go with the West Coast. We're going to make this East Coast, West Coast. Fine, I'm going East Coast. Go Wolfpack. NC State, in my opinion, is the better team. They've played pretty well this year, and I think the 1.5 point spread is too low. Like Brandon said, I like them by at least a touchdown. So I'm going NC State in the East Coast. Let's go with the Guaranteed Rate Bowl. West Virginia Mountaineers, Minnesota Golden Gophers, and Minnesota is a 4-point favorite.
One of the other lines to look at here is the over-under is just 45. This is going to be an old-school plotting running game. Minnesota will run, and run some more, then get your safeties playing up, bam, play-action touchdown. They slow the game down, and while both of these teams are statistically good against the run, Minnesota's going to stick with it, even if it's not bringing quick results. That takes guts. I'm taking Minnesota to win by 10, and I'm taking the under.
Yeah, Minnesota has just been such a strong program recently, just hasn't reached the upper echelon of those perennial powerhouses. West Virginia may be looking to surprise here, and I think they can. Their coach, Neil Brown, is 4-0 in bowl games and could at least keep this close. I think Minnesota can win, but I like the Mountaineers cover in this one.
Thankfully, Pat McAfee's not on the show to give us a little bit of flack when we don't take West Virginia, because I'm going Minnesota. Minnesota has held their opponents to only 18 points on average this year, while they average around 26. I don't think West Virginia is going to be able to put up enough points to stay with Minnesota, so I'm going Minnesota -4. And again, this is just the first video of the bowl games that we're going to do here. If you do like this, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, because we are going to be back and we're going to break down the next set of games all the way from the 29th, from the game that opens up, I believe, at Fenway, which is always cool to see a football game at a baseball stadium. And we're going to go all the way through the new year for some of the biggest games. Obviously, we're going to leave the national championship, but I'm super excited for this next batch of videos because the college bowl season is coming up, and I'm going to tell you, we gave you some good advice here that screams money. So again, I'm Matt with Beard Laws.
Brandon J. McDermott, all over social media.
And at the Johanna Jones, Matt Brown.
Remember, take a look at all the links below. You can find us, you can find some bonuses, maybe even a Christmas present. Probably not. But either way, we thank you guys and good luck and happy bowl season. We'll be back for the next video for some of the big time bowl games. So take care, everybody.